Hi, I'm Dan Trudeau with PRA USA. A lot of people dream about quitting their job, becoming their own boss, but very few people get to actually do it. That's because there's a lot of risk involved, and the process is just not as simple as a lot of videos on the subject make it sound. I recently spoke to Jim Petitpren, however, about how 30 years ago he did just that, and how that decision led to the company we both work for today. Dan Trudeau here. I'm the VP and Executive Recruiter at PRA USA, and today I want to talk to Jim Petitpren, who's the founder of PRA USA, about how he decided to go off on his own and start a business that landed us here today. So, Jim, you've had an entrepreneurial spirit since your earliest days, right?
Yeah, when I was 12, I was starting my own businesses, and I actually had like 4 of them before I got out of high school, Dan.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then you went to school for engineering, right?
Yeah, went to school. Yeah, and then in between college, I tried to start another business. It was a 10-month, very serious business with a partner, and that failed after 10 months. So I went back to college and finished my degree.
Gotcha. Engineering degree and made your way into the corporate world, right?
Yeah, quite a ride.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about that ride, a bit about how things went for you.
Yeah, so I started out, I ended up doing, I worked in field service, and I got promoted to research and development, then I took another job as a project engineer. Then by the time I was 35 years old, I was running a drafting room with like 21 people, direct reports.
Working at a substantial company, right?
Yeah, good sized company, yeah.
Yeah. So in a lot of people, for a lot of people, this is the classic success story, right? This is what is supposed to happen.
Yeah, and then you keep going and going and going
right.
and going.
But for you, it didn't work out that way.
It did not work out that way at all. So I left that company and moved into a tier 1 automotive, and I thought I had hit the holy grail because I had this great opportunity going, this beautiful office. I had my own secretary, the whole bit, and it got real political. And I ended up getting depressed. I actually got depressed in the middle of all this.
You're not a depressive type of personality.
I am not a depressive type of personality. My wife, after 15 years, she's like, "Oh, honey, we got we got to do something here." And so, I ended up, by luck, going back to my former employer because I got asked to a retirement party for my former boss. And I get there and they go, "Hey, Jimmy," they call me Jimmy. They say, "Hey, Jimmy, what do we got to do to get you to come back to work for us?" And I was like, "Okay, timing couldn't have been better." So I went back to work on my own ticket as a contract engineer working for them. So I was billing them every week.
Right. So working for them, but also doing your own thing.
Is my own legal business.
And let's talk about how you use that to build.
Okay. We can do that. Yeah. So while I was there, I ended up adding more contractors in different departments around the company. So I would literally go in on payday and I would walk around and give them their paycheck and then go sit in my office and do my project engineering job.
Oh, so you're doing a full-time job.
Yep, full-time job.
Plus you're building this contracting business on top of it,
right? On top of it, yes.
So what did that entail other than...
Let me tell you, it was a lot of work. My wife worked for me in the business for 25 years and she helped me do it. It was awesome. So we were working out of the house. We had like 4 people in the house. So we had like 4 offices in the house. And then we worked late at night. We were drinking coffee. The coffee wasn't even working anymore because the body gets adapted. And it was really, really a lot of work. It was very grueling.
Right.
A lot of things.
But eventually you took the leap, right?
So the company was in a position where they wanted me to relocate to another state with them because they were moving the operations. And at the time, we had like, I think, 3 major clients in the Detroit area. So we also had like $50,000 of revenue, or of receivables rather, which wasn't really a lot of money when you consider you might want to quit your job. $50,000, even though it was like 25 years, 30 years ago, it's not that much money because you don't have a paycheck anymore. You don't have your own benefits, all that stuff. So it was a leap of faith.
Right. Well, in talk, how you use that moment though, going off on your own to further develop the business, evolve the business.
Right. So eventually we moved out of the house and we ended up going into different market segments. So not just contract engineering, we ended up doing direct placements. We ended up specializing more in the high-tech stuff and then doing like special project teams and then like 37 states, right? We've worked literally in 37 states throughout the years.
Gotcha.
We ended up with an office in Detroit, another one in downtown Chicago.
Wow, great. Built it up.
Built
Got
it up.
some
Yep.
steam
Yep.
going,
Great
so-
recession hit. We had to collapse it, and that's the part people don't understand when they start their own business. Stuff's going to happen,
Right,
And it does
right.
to everybody. And anybody that thinks it's a panacea, don't. It's not. It's not.
Right. But what's the trade-off, Jim? What do you get out of owning a business that you couldn't have gotten just as a manager? In a
Yeah.
company?
So after that initial really big surge where you really pour yourself into it, and you finally get established. You've got some money in the bank, you've got a staff, you got a good product, good customer base, some continuity, you got a reputation in the marketplace. After that all happens, now you've got some freedom. Now you can take some of that delayed gratification that you've been sitting on the side all the time, not telling people about, and you can take some vacations. You can take, midweek, you can take like half a day off just because you don't have any other commitments, things like that.
Right,
so
right.
that's the reward, and it's very freeing. You still have all the responsibility because there's all this administrative stuff that has to happen.
Right.
But
you're controlling your own destiny too.
totally,
I mean,
yeah, totally.
The other
Yeah,
thing
that's the
is-
nice thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will, quit their day job and just like go to start a business, and it's like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Do you have a trust fund? Do you have a silver spoon?
Yeah.
How do you do this?
I
You've got
wonder.
to-
Yeah, you see those videos where they're like,
Yeah, those
I quit my job with no plan, and
Right,
I
right.
just built this up from nothing.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, how did you pay the rent in the meantime?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. It's kind
so-
of neat.
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing I'd want to bring up now is, why don't you talk about some of the advice you'd give to someone who's maybe in the same boat thinking about doing the same thing? I mean, what are the pieces of advice you give?
Okay, I would say there's probably 3 or 4 things. Number one is don't burn bridges. I did not burn a bridge at my previous employer, which is why they wanted me back. So that was not burning a bridge. And then the employer that I left, the Tier 1 Automotive, I didn't burn a bridge when I left there either. I was able to go back and turn them into like they were our number 2 customer at one time. So that was, so there's 2 things. Another thing is some people are going to want to rain on your parade. Don't let it distract you. I had a close family member early on that said, hey, bear in mind, I'm already a successful 35-year-old running a group of people as an engineer. I'm successful in the corporate world. And this family member says to me, well, don't worry, Jim. You can always go back and work as a mechanic if it doesn't work out. And I'm like, oh man, I mean, that really stung, So the last piece, though, I would say, though, Dan, is make sure you have a plan. And a good business plan has to have like about 4 elements. And you can take your time putting this together. You can do it while you're working at your day job. Take yourself 6 months and really figure it out, because you need a market, you need a financial plan, you need to know what your services are really going to be, and you need to know how you're going to grow it. So if you don't have those 4 elements, then you're just kind of like saying, I'm going to go start a business, like some of these videos we've been seeing. I'm going to go start my own business. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to go start my own business. I don't like my job. I'm going to quit. That doesn't work if you have responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Well, Jim, thanks for sharing your story, your advice.
Yeah, that's great.
Helping people out who maybe are thinking about doing the same thing. And another thing they can do to help themselves out is like, share, and subscribe to the PRA USA YouTube channel. We're going to be having videos giving advice like this, also career advice, insights on the marketplace, you name it. And we've got, how many years now for PRA USA?
Well, we've been doing it for 30 and a half years. You've been in it for almost 23 years now. My wife's 25, so that's a lot of experience.
Right.
That's a lot of experience.
Got a lot of experience.
And we've been through a lot, believe me. We started out with paper.
Yeah, so make sure you click on the subscribe button.
It's there, I think.
It's over. Yeah,
You might be wrong. Again.
It's down there. It's a subscribe button. Click on that. Make sure you follow us, because we want you to use our experience to help you get the career you deserve.
Yeah, I really hope the link's on that side, though, so I can be right. Thanks.